All right, so we're entering chapter two. Chapter two is sort of like your pre-proof writing chapter. It gets you set up for what you need to know. So this first section we're going to talk about is 2.2 on conditional statements. Okay, you're going to learn a lot of theorems moving forward, and these theorems are usually written as conditional statements. So a conditional statement is just a statement in if-then form. It starts with if something, it ends with then something. I don't care about the symbols. I don't care about the diagram. I just care about the words if and then. So there are two parts to a conditional. The first part is called the hypothesis. It's the part following the if. The second part is called the conclusion, and it's the part following the then. Now, as we move forward, sometimes you will learn a conditional statement as a theorem, and then we'll reverse that statement, and that'll also be a theorem. And this is called the converse. So, in our conditional statements, again, we have a hypothesis and conclusion. For instance, if the measure of angle A equals 15 degrees, then angle A is acute. Hypothesis, conclusion. Well, now to make the converse, we're going to exchange those two things. We're going to put the conclusion first and the hypothesis second. Notice the if and then stay put though. If angle A is acute, so again, taking this conclusion and putting it first, then the measure of angle A is 15 degrees. Taking the hypothesis and putting it second. That's all. Just rewriting words. All right, so we're going to take a look at two problems here. All right, so the first problem here talks about identify the hypothesis and conclusion for the following conditional. Do not add, delete any words. So that's for the grading purposes. All right. So the conditional is if two angles form a right angle, then they are complementary. So when I do this, again, I find that word if. The words after if, these will be your hypothesis. And then I find that word then, and the words after then will be your conclusion. Don't write the word if, don't write the word then, don't add or change any words. Just bring down what the H is and what the C is. All right, so my hypothesis, two angles form a right angle. There's my hypothesis. For my conclusion, they are complementary. Complementary. Careful of the spelling. Don't want to get it marked wrong because you can't spell what you see right in front of you. Okay, great. So there's just a quick identifying question. And then the next one says, write the converse of the given conditional statement. And here it is. If 3 points are on the same line, then they are collinear, right? So we're writing a converse. So remember, a converse is where you exchange the hypothesis and the conclusion. So here's the word if. There's my hypothesis. There's the word then. There's my conclusion. So we're just going to swap them. But notice in the conclusion, you have this word they. This word they is called a pronoun. It would be silly to start the converse with the word they because I don't know what they is. So as I write the converse, look at the savviness that I use. It's not changing a whole lot of words, it's just rearranging them a little bit. All right. All right. So when I write the converse, still start with if, but now this second part goes first, the part about being collinear. But instead of putting they, I'm going to put if 3 points. Because that's what we're talking about. That's the noun, right? The 3 points. If 3 points are collinear. So I basically took that conclusion, put it first, but I just changed they to what they stands for, the 3 points. If 3 points are collinear, comma, then, and now I can use the word they referring back to those 3 points, then they, and now the hypothesis of the conditional comes second, are on the same line. And there you go. And that's how you write a converse. All right. Good luck with your homework.